Don't let YouTube decide what information you get. That's your choice. YouTube is deleting our videos and cuts you off from a source of honest reporting. Make sure you don't lose access to NTD's news content, and take a quick moment to subscribe to our newsletter so no matter what happens here, you'll keep your access to a trustworthy news source.
The U.S. might soon have a new treatment against COVID-19. Vaccines are already being used as prevention, but now President Biden is eyeing the new pill to potentially help those who become infected.
The United States has secured millions of doses of Pfizer's experimental antiviral pill for COVID-19. That's in case it turns out to be an effective treatment.
A pill developed by Pfizer that may dramatically reduce the risk of being hospitalized or dying when taken shortly after infection, if you're infected. If authorized by the FDA, we may soon have pills that may treat the virus of those who become infected.
In a study, the drug was shown to cut the chances of hospitalization or death by almost 90% for adults at risk of developing severe disease. Pfizer's trial was stopped early after this number came out. The drug was tested in adults within 3 to 5 days of symptoms starting. Fewer than 1% of patients who received it went to the hospital within 4 weeks. That's compared to 7% who got placebos. 7 people who were treated with placebos died. President Biden reiterated that he thinks prevention is still better than treatment.
But look, it's important to remember, we need to prevent infections, not wait to treat them once they happen. And vaccination remains the best way to do that.
This is the second COVID-19 pill to be developed. The first one is from Merck, which is shown to cut the risk of hospitalization and death by about half. Both Merck and Pfizer are seeking FDA authorization for their pills for emergency use application. Merck has already submitted that filing, while Pfizer is expected to do so before Thanksgiving.
Amid a backlog of cargo ships in Southern California, the chief of the Oakland Port in Northern California is calling for help. He says they need solutions from all levels of government. We hear more from NTD's David Lamb.
The Port of Oakland, a major West Coast port, is calling for government assistance amid backlog. An executive commented on the reason during a Wednesday meeting.
The current congestion that we see is partly a result of decades of underinvestment in our ports and goods movement supply chain.
Juan says they tried extending port hours and creating policies to incentivize quicker turn times, but that these are short-term solutions. He believes they need additional investments in infrastructure, as well as coordination among local partners and state partners.
Among California ports, although California ports did receive access to the Federal American Rescue Funds in the state budget cycle, the guidelines were limited to a small group of ports for direct pandemic relief and did not focus on any capacity building infrastructure projects which might address freight congestion.
A California state assemblyman stated that farmers are seeing a 20% reduction in exports due to the current shipping crisis.
An estimated $64 billion in cargo is idling on the coast, waiting to unload. With the holidays right around the corner, Christmas and the months beyond may be different for Americans across the country.
According to Juan, California ports have handled record cargo volumes in the past 2 years. California port activities generate an estimated $9 billion in tax revenue each year. David Lamb, NTD News, California.
On Thursday, California voted to store more natural gas in Los Angeles. This decision comes after drought and wildfires left the state to find other forms of power generation.
California said it would increase the amount of natural gas stored at a Los Angeles area facility. In a 4-0 vote, the California Public Utilities Commission approved the plan to boost the capacity of Aliso Canyon underground storage facility from 34 billion cubic feet of gas to 41 billion cubic feet. In a statement, the commission stated the decision ensures energy reliability for the Los Angeles basin this winter in a safe and reliable manner. This is meant to be a temporary transition. They intend to continue reducing or eliminating Aliso Canyon to move towards cleaner energy.
The most important steps really that we've taken in developing what are the specific procurements needed to transition off of Aliso. There were specific quantifications on the amount of daily and hourly gas that needed to be replaced with specific alternatives.
After years of restricting fossil fuel infrastructure, California has been looking to natural gas to generate power after drought and wildfires left it with few alternative options to keep the lights on. In 2015, a blowout at the facility caused the nation's largest methane leak that forced thousands to evacuate from their homes. California has set a goal to produce all of its electricity from clean sources by 2045, but has faced challenges to their electrical grids in recent months. The decision to increase the amount of gas held at Aliso Canyon was necessary to maintain reliability, the Utilities Commission said. Eileen Ang, NTD News, California.
Statesman and General Colin Powell was laid to rest in Washington, D.C. The funeral service of the decorated war veteran and former Secretary of State achieved something rare. That is, it brought together a bipartisan group of high-ranking officials despite Washington's polarized climate. NTD's Kevin Hogan takes us there.
Colin Powell, a four-star general, Secretary of State, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and a National Security Advisor, memorialized at the National Cathedral. The Dean gives a eulogy.
He lived a life of service, and he was a great blessing to all who knew him.
Powell's funeral united Washington, with officials from past and present administrations on both sides of the aisle paying tribute. But more than a giant in the military and diplomatic realms, he was a father. His son, the former FCC chair, called on America to honor Powell's legacy and to be a nation that still produces individuals like him.
I took his hand, just as he had taken mine decades before. I wanted him to be at peace. But again, I felt my father's love in that hand. Colin Powell was a great lion with a big heart. We will miss him terribly.
His private funeral at the National Cathedral is a rare occurrence, and in attendance, 3 presidents and their wives, the Bushes, the Obamas, and the Bidens, past secretaries of state, a VP, and 2 former defense secretaries. And beyond Powell's commanding resume, his ambitious and determined personality, there was his love for the pop group ABBA.
Colin immediately went down on one knee and sang the entire Mamma Mia to a very amused foreign minister from Sweden.
The deputy said Powell once told him, "We always need to treat people with a little more respect than they deserve because we don't know what's going on with their lives." Kevin Hogan, NTD News.
Germany's foreign ministry on Friday confirmed the death of a Russian diplomat last month. The deceased diplomat is now suspected of being an undercover agent for Moscow's intelligence agency. Matthew Laratonda reports.
German media are reporting that a man was found dead in the street outside the Russian embassy in Berlin last month, who turned out to be an undercover Russian spy and is said to have fallen from an upper floor of the building. That's according to the Der Spiegel newspaper, citing sources in Germany's security services, and that specifically he was 35 years old and officially listed as a diplomat and embassy secretary, but was actually a member of Moscow's FSB intelligence agency. It's not clear what caused his death or how he'd fallen, and the Russian embassy has not agreed to an autopsy, according to Der Spiegel. He's also said to be related, through family, to a senior officer in a counterterrorism section at the FSB. The embassy has reportedly called the incident a, quote, tragic accident, but won't comment further for what it calls ethical reasons. Germany's foreign ministry has said it's aware of the death of a diplomat, but is also declining to comment further, and prosecutors would neither confirm nor deny the report.
And now to Carnaby Street in the heart of London's West End, which is now sparkling under its Christmas light display. Visitors could enjoy seasonal workshops and activities on Thursday to kick off the festive season. NTD's Neil Woodrow was there to soak up the atmosphere.
Carnaby Street have switched on their Christmas lights for 2021. They generate a new theme for every year. This year is called Carnaby Kaleidoscope. 600 butterflies representing spiritual rebirth, transformation, change, and hope. Glittering hand-decorated butterflies come fluttering down on Carnaby Street. The street busy for the launch day as visitors try to snap the scenes above them on their phones. It's an annual event here at Carnaby Street put on by property investment group Shaftesbury, the owners of Carnaby Street. And this year's theme, Carnaby Kaleidoscope, was started on last Christmas. They were looking for something that showed a positive message.
And we came upon the idea of butterflies, and when we did a bit more research we found out that it represented hope and rebirth and transformation, and we felt that that message was spot on. You know, that's something that everybody's going through at the moment, our tenants, our customers, and we thought that it would be a perfect fit.
A group of butterflies is called a kaleidoscope. Emma said they always aim to make the installation colourful, to put smiles on people's faces.
More than 20 years we've done something, and I think Carnaby is famous worldwide for our installations, and that's what we aspire to be every year.
During Thursday's event, visitors try out the various activities put on for them. Faces get a glittery butterfly makeover. For some, it's the chance to try making a Christmas wreath under expert guidance. A converted VW camper van on site acts as a photo booth for a memorable picture of the visit. And there's plenty more activities planned for Carnaby Street through the Christmas period.
We have lots of activations happening in stores. We've got some more live music planned. You know, really it's down to our wonderful tenants and what they're doing. They're really going above and beyond this year, so we're super excited for Christmas.
There's a real buzz among the butterflies and lights here in Carnaby Street's Kaleidoscope. Neil Woodrow, NTD News, London.
Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Don't forget to catch all of our programs on TV. NTD Evening News is on every weekday at 6:30 p.m. Find your local NTD channel at ntd.com/TV.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
There's reporting that can be trusted. There are programs that can inspire every generation. There is a television network worth watching and sharing. Our commitment is to bring you the facts and to show you the world. We won't be divided by politics, and we won't be swayed by the dollar. We believe in the strength of our nation and the hope in our shared humanity. We are NTD Television, and we are proud to bring you news you can trust and programs that make you smile. NTD Television, news you can trust.